I don't have a lot of time. I have cookies in the oven. My kitchen looks like a sugar factory, a confectioner sugar factory specifically, exploded in it. Here is another intro. I really don't have time to do this, but hey everyone, Melissa here. I am your Friday Geek, and this week we are talking about growing up millennials and the 90s and everything that is wonderful and associated with that. Now, I was born in 1990, and I have memories of playing with things like the NES and Game Boy Pockets. When I was 8 years old, I got a red Game Boy Pocket and Pokemon Red. And that was the beginning of a huge obsession that is still huge to this day because I have my Pikachu plushie. He's sleeping under Rokotatsu. I do not want to disturb him because I don't want to disturb Pikachu while he's sleeping. I have a Ralts plushie. I have a Pumpkin plushie. I have a Vaporeon plushie. And I have a Mudkip plushie down here. And I'm going to get a ton of different plushies when I move. But anyway, Pokemon was a huge thing for me in the 90s. It's still a huge thing to this day. I remember those days of playing with Pokemon Red and my Game Boy Pocket and having to wait to play as a girl and having to wait for color, period. Not even waiting to play as a girl, waiting to play in color. I remember just playing Pokemon how it was originally presented and thinking that it was the best game ever. I remember playing NES on snow days with the snow up to the window, and my friend David and I would just like swap playing Mario and stuff like that. And as far as shows though, because gaming was a huge part of my life in the 90s, and of course then 64 and things like that too. But and as far as shows, because gaming obviously was a huge part of the 90s for me and a huge part of my lifestyle to this day, and I wouldn't have it any other way. But as far as shows, I loved Nicktoons. I loved Nicktoons. I loved Rugrats. Was a huge thing for me. It was a huge thing for me even past the 90s. I mean, I enjoyed All Grown Up. Was it perfect? No, but it was crazy for me because I watched Rugrats pretty much for my entire life up until that point. And then when I watched All Grown Up, I'm like, this is different. It's not as good as Rugrats, but I still like it because I always thought of what would happen to Tommy and Angelica and Chucky and Phil and Lil. I loved Rugrats. I loved Wild Thornberrys, even though that was like on the cusp of the 2000s. I loved the Wild Thornberrys so much. I have the complete box set, which I'm not going to get because it's all the way over on the other side of the room, and I only have a limited amount of time to do this because I have cookies in the oven. I think I have when I started filming, I had 7 minutes left, and I have 4 minutes now. But yeah, this is not fast to talk when I have stuff to do. But yeah! But as far as other shows that weren't Nicktoons, but that were still on Nickelodeon, I loved Kenan and Kel, but I don't have Teen Nick anymore, so I can't watch Kenan and Kel anymore, which makes me sad. And I also really loved All That. I even loved it as it continued on into the 2000s. It lost a little bit of its charm, but I still enjoyed it. And I also really liked Legends of the Hidden Temple. It baffled me. Well, I mean, I know I would never be able to do any of that stuff on the show, but it was still exciting to see if they were gonna get whatever artifact they had to get in time and avoid temple guards and stuff like that. The temple guards freaked me out too. The temple guards were really scary. I didn't like them. I got why they were there, but I just didn't like them. I mean, from a story perspective, yeah. Was it cool that they were there? Yes. But were they still freaky? And was that the point? Yes. And anyway, Kay, we will see you on Monday. Oh my god, I did it. My cookies aren't gonna burn. Thank God.